Does Manthis wine taste the same as I remember? But where are those who share the memory?
Sorry to disturb you, but we seem to have run into some trouble.
Evidently so. Don't worry, I'm not about to leave you.
I'm sorry. What did you hear me say?
Wait, how long have I been—
Not long. You just appeared by—
Boss, what's wrong?
We've been tricked. We never left at all.
Hallucinated?
How indeed.
So you control everything in here?
More or less.
Has anything—
Only once.
Is there any similarity between what—
I suppose my thoughts are a little—
Is there any—
The first clause—
Meaning
this—
Boss, it's fun.
Oh, listen.
What?
Yes, really.
Well, anyway, I suggest everyone, even though you don't want to dismiss mental fatigue, just because—
Don't I have the—
if we can find a
Time to rally, everyone. Follow me. As we continue our journey, the same rules will apply. You have my word. No more lies. This place looks familiar. That's not a good
I wasn't expecting visitors at this hour. Wait,
Oh, it's him.
there you are. Sinue's been looking for you all day.
Oh, yeah? What were you doing just now, Uncle Retinue? Hiding away some more loose change? I know I saw some Mora.
What do you mean loose change? Oh, come on, I'm too old for...
kid. Mind telling me what Sinnohe's been up to recently? I'm trying to get in his good books and I need a way in.
Get in his good books? Why? What do you...
I've written a new song. I was hoping to showcase it at the next
A new song, huh? I'd love to stay and listen, but unfortunately,
Well, there's plenty of time and I'm not going anywhere. See that pile of stones? I'll be sitting there.
Pile of stones. Got it. Hi, Dad. Uncle Retin, you said you were looking for...
Ah, there's my little princess. If you'd gotten back just a little sooner, you could have shared...
Spoils of war? Who were you fighting against, Dad?
It was just a figure of speech. I was talking about our war against thirst. I went out to fix our water supply problem, and now I'm back. Which...
We have a well again.
That's right. I found a new one and brought back as much water as I could carry.
If it wasn't for these blasted sandstorms, our wells wouldn't be caving in. You wouldn't be spending all your time out searching for new water sources.
As the chief of our tribe, I'm supposed to be leading us out of hardship and poverty. You know how prosperous our ancestors were. I've told you all the stories. And look at us now. Squeezed into these hovels. No one would choose this, if it wasn't for the endless wars over the years. But things are looking up. I started working with some folks from the academia a few months back.
So you're the academia...
Special ambassador, they call it. Think of it as a partnership. It's nothing bad, okay? We've been isolated here in the desert for too long. Seeking opportunities elsewhere is the best.
So, do you get...
Of course. My luck's improving all the time. One day, I swear I'm gonna...
That's our well, and you know it. You stole from us. Well, you've gone from chief to thief, and now you're...
Did you really think you could take our water without permission and get away with it? You're either brave, stupid, or both.
In that Special Ambassador Act? Yeah, nice try. We spoke to the academia. They said it was all news to them. You're a liar and a cheat!
I heard Yehuda gasp, but I don't blame her. Most people are terrified by the sight of blood. Corpses strewn across the ground. The wounds are clearly from scimitars and daggers. The desert dwellers' weapons of choice. There's a handwritten note on the ground.
Halil, this is Sinnohe, chief of the Shimti tribe. Surely you remember me. This is my second time writing to you. I assume my last letter must have gotten lost in the mail, as I didn't receive... I'm writing to you because I need some help. That sandstorm the other day completely blocked up our well, forcing me to look for praise the gods. The well of the Eob tribe was intact. It was my last resort. I drew what water I could and left, but not without being spotted. You told me to write to you if I ever needed help. You said you'd be... I urgently need you to formally recognize my title of Special Ambassador and send some of your people to assist me for a few days. It's the only way I can convince them that this was the Academia's decision and prevent them from... This is an emergency. Please send...
Looks like this letter never got sent. The writer died a grisly death, and the letter was trampled into the ground. What a ridiculous lie the surviving Shimti tell. Their whole village was butchered over a sip of water.
Officer, welcome. Welcome to our humble village.
I thought you would at least have the courtesy to provide some respectable libations.
This is the finest wine our village has to offer.
The Academia has agreed to reserve a single space for a candidate from your village. But I remain skeptical of this entire...
Please, have faith. If not in us, then in our God. The child we found shows great promise. I beg you, take her away from this place.
I don't
She showed up here a few days ago, and we took her in. She's a really bright...
So, what?
Nowhere special. Just a sand dune.
What about the rest of your family?
Just the one.
It's...
Correct.
So, no brothers, no...
Any who have slept on a bed of sand, I call my brothers and my sisters. Apart from that...
All right. Get over here. Sign your name on the form. Never. You're rather fair-skinned.
Nefer, this term's assignments have been issued already. Please read through the materials thoroughly, conduct your own additional research, and then write an essay on the topic.
Yes, Professor, I'm aware. I just had a couple more questions I wanted to get your perspective on.
Oh? Please, ask away.
Well, I saw the other students' problem sheets, and I couldn't help but notice that my assignment is much easier.
A weak student? Goodness, no. Quite the opposite. You have a sharp mind, almost too sharp.
I think what you're saying is, a weak student wouldn't have noticed the discrepancy. And if they did, they certainly wouldn't complain about the lighter workload.
You see, sharp as they come. You see things the way they are, and I'm sure you know why they're like that.
Because of where I come from. Because I'm different.
I'm sorry, Nefer. I don't like it any more than you do. It's just... Anyway, you said you had a couple of questions. What's the other one?
I wanted to check... If someone sent me a letter to the Academia, where do I go to collect it?
Ah, your family wrote to you. Well, as long as they put your name on the envelope, someone should hand it right to you.
Not exactly. It's not even a recent letter. I was just curious where the mail would end up if no one collects it.
The House of Dana, I expect. I know there's a box for unclaimed mail somewhere in there, probably sitting on a shelf. Whatever you're looking for, that'd be the place to start.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Professor.
Oh, don't mention it. Honestly, I feel like I failed you. I'm supposed to be...
Hey, don't say that. You're a great teacher, and you do your best for all your students. But the rules are the rules. You're not allowed... It's not just the Academia, either. The whole world bends over backwards for the successful.
Oh, my dear child. Don't...
I haven't. I just think that if you want to make it in this world, you have to find a way to become. This must be it. A big cardboard. Let's take a look. A dilapidation survey from Port Ormos. Looks like it's from a Core of 30 representative. What a strange thought. A bunch of mercs losing sleep over rundown. This one was never even opened. I guess the recipient did. Who was it addressed to? I don't recognize the name, but it must have been a Kasharawar professor. This one is addressed to the Immorta Sage. The title is Changes Observed in Satyavada Life Symptoms. Why do all these letters read like full? Guided by the incense, we became lost somewhere in the forest. All the barriers between levels of consciousness disappeared as our minds soared around in circles, looking for a branch to seek refuge. In clinical terms, these symptoms fit the description of incense poisoning. The Immorta Darshan strictly prohibits the use of hallucinogenic substances, but I believe there are still people getting. For example, my neighbor who always. This seems like something the academia would want to know about. Wait, what's this written on the back? The note says, the sender authored this letter while under the influence of mushrooms. I would send it back, but no return address was provided. This next one is addressed to a few words of protest regarding in recent years, the academia has taken on a small. However, it appears to me that these students have not, in fact, been provided with as well as receiving dumbed-down assignments and perfunctory education is the fundamental purpose of this institution, which should go without saying in a nation whose founding virtues are knowledge and wisdom. I ask you, is the lip service we pay to the policy of education? As Grand Sage, policy decisions are your prerogative. But do not forget your. I do hope you will give some serious attention to this matter. Great letter. Shame it didn't get to where it needed to go. And the sender is. I didn't realize anyone else even knew how bad. So this is where letters from the Sage of Spontamod end up? Whatever. I'm not exactly holding out hope that a letter sent from the desert would even make it here. But if it did, where else would it end up if not in this box? I can't believe how much discarded mail there is. Must have been years since someone last went through it all. And this is just one box. The whole house of I don't believe for 1 second that any human being has sat down and read through all the documents in this place. Who has that much free time on their hands? Wait.
Greetings, Halil. My name is Sinue, chief of the Shimti tribe. I was the one who came to you and your colleague Zaid when you ran into. I don't know how well you remember it now, but I brought you to safety. In my tribe, learning a person's true name is serious business. And I therefore see you all. The Shimti tribe lives a harsh nomadic existence in the desert. You were sympathetic towards my plight, promising to make me This brings me to my reason for writing. Our tribe has fallen on particularly hard times. There was a terrible sandstorm a few days ago, which blocked up the well in our land. To ensure my people's survival, I had no choice. The Eob and Unut are descended from the Thamudians, while we trace our ancestry to Tulatila. We worship the Lord of Flowers and have had relatively good relations with our fellow tribes, up until now. I found a well belonging to the Eob tribe. They declined to help us, but I really had no other option, so I took some water to keep me and my tribe alive. When we met, you assured me that you would be my ally in the academia. I would like to take you up on that offer, because I really need your help. I wonder if you could send an academia representative to meet with me. That aside, the last time you were here, you mentioned that the academia had started. We have next to no resources here in the desert, and my power and influence are limited. Would you
From the outset, the academia never took you seriously. Those things they promised were just empty work, and you were so emphatic that your luck had finally changed for the better. You swore you'd lead us to a better place one day. You spoke with such conviction, like you were the most powerful chief in the whole You liar. You lied about everything. You promised the world and delivered on none of it. And who fell for it? Just me, by the look. Which makes you a pathetic liar. I think I'll take over from here. Let me show you how it's done. I just came to say goodbye. Thanks for everything you've done for me in my...
Nefer? You packed...
I'm quitting. Something's come up in my hometown.
Huh? But this was a hard-won opportunity for you. You know that better than I do.
It was. But it doesn't matter. I have more important things to deal... Oh, and I didn't want to overfill my bags, so I left some incense on your desk. What's wrong? I thought you liked incense. Although, I did read somewhere...
Isn't this the stuff you brought from your hometown? You're just letting me have it?
Yeah, I lied. It's not rare at all. There's this bunch of ruins near my hometown that are practically overgrown. It's not worth much. Keep it. It's fine.
But Nefer...
All right, that's all from me.
Don't forget me, okay? I mean, we're more than...
Yeah, I lied again. That incense is worth a fortune, and it's a rare find even in those ruins. And as for remembering her, I have far too much to do when I get back. No time. I'll be lucky if I even make it through this alive. But either way... It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Arif.
So, what does the Academia want? Says they've sent their special ambassador by a...
Please, sir, lower your blade. You're lucky I'm the one they sent. Not the ever-shifting balance of power in the desert reduced the once great civilizations of this region to rubble and sand. But the story of the Eab has a very different trajectory.
Huh. So, you do know...
This well is the perfect symbol of your strength, is it not? It used to belong to the Unut, but it looks like you have control of...
You're not wrong. But I'm sure you didn't come all this way.
Of course not. I came to bring you some very good news. Records uncovered by the Vahumana Darshan show that a certain well currently under Eab control is built on top of some ancient ruins. These ruins are of great... I checked the map carefully on my way over here, and I'm confident that this is the well in question. The Academia is offering 50 million mora in return for...
50 million? No, wait. If these ruins are as important as you say...
Don't get greedy, Eab. We know far more than you think. We know that you seized this well by force. Wasn't that the first step in your rise to power?
So what if it was?
Don't worry. As unscrupulous as it was, it's something we're willing to overlook. I hope
And I hope your words are the truth. If I find out the Academia is trying to play me, I'll hunt down...
I assure you, Chief, you see how I'm dressed, don't you? I appreciate that you've never been to the rainforest, but surely even you and what does a barbarian like you have to lose anyway? You really think the Sumeru
All right, I take your point. The Academia is the highest authority in the land. I'm sure you... In that case, we have a deal. We will sell you the excavation rights. I'd like to thank you, Ambassador. This is good news indeed. Excellent news. In fact, it calls for a celebration. Would you do us the...
Gladly. I am partial to wine myself, so let's indulge in a few drinks together.
Chief! Chief, it's an emergency! It's the Unut. They've... What?
Well, don't just stand there. Take it back.
Yes, Chief.
I have every confidence in the Eab's military...
Well, what is it?
The Unut's response was alarmingly fast. The day after we reach a deal, they seize the well.
I don't...
I am obliged to remind you, Chief, that the Academia will only deal with the de facto power holders. If you cannot regain control over the well...
No! Please, Ambassador, just give me some time. That well...
Glad to hear it. I will wait...
If there is a traitor, I will find them. In the...
Wow. All it took was a few words and I've got him wrapped up...
So, in summary, Ambassador, the Academia would rather negotiate with our tribe.
The Eab are ruthless murderers who don't listen to reason. And now they have the gall to interfere in our research So let me ask you, Chief, if you were the Academia...
Kill them all, of course.
Precisely. The Academia does not tolerate those who stand in our way. The Eab have held back our academic pursuits for too long, and are patient at the same time. There is simply no way that the Academia can be seen...
We have our own rules out here. If the rainforest dwellers raised up...
Right. We can't confront them ourselves, but we can support their enemies. The Unut, natural allies. Weren't the Eab your allies once? You were quick to send them after us to protect your interests back when we stole that water. And now, let me be clear. The Academia wishes to collaborate with the legally recognized ruler.
Say no more. tribe, but...
Good. Then I suggest you get to work. You see, Dad? Lying is easy when you know how. People will believe anything. Look at yourselves. You may be vile, savage monsters, but you're the monsters who destroyed my home. They're just ordinary... Maybe I've even done the desert a favor. It's a bit... Oh, Sinuhe. My gullible fool of a father. Perhaps if you'd been as ruthless as I was today, but you couldn't do what had to be done.
Nefer, it's okay. All of this is in the past now.
I believe I remember you promising to remain
Yeah, but even so...
Yehuda, is there anything you can do to ease the tension?
All right, time for a sharp turn onto a completely different topic. So, anyway, that's enough of that. When are we getting out of this place? Feels like we've been walking forever. I'm getting pretty tired. Oh, Alma, you tired?
Yes. If we can find somewhere to sit down, I could certainly do with a rest.
It's not far now. There should be a temple just up ahead. Yes.
Really? A temple? I guess that's how things go in the desert.
Desert dwellers can never escape their destiny. Or so everyone...
You mentioned a temple.
What my biggest trade
Ah. Then I'm guessing it's where...
I didn't know you were clued up on any...
I'm no expert in the history of Sumeru, but since you come from the desert, I would imagine it has something to do with King Deshret.
Sounds impressive.
General Mahamatra Sino, the spirit of hermeneutic.
That's Boss Neff for ya. She knows everything.
Sino's hardly a figure of obscurity, but...
What about him?
Well, he's not a small deal, let's put it... Please, this is the bare-bone basics. Save the flattery. Thanks for your patience, everyone. I'm sure it's been a lot to take in. With any luck,
I'm totally out of my depth here. I don't have anything to add about any of this. I want to do the whole name dropping, this girl knows her stuff thing too, but I've never seen anything like it before.
A statue with the head of a bird.
That's Thoth, the Ibis King, one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret. The legends say that he, the Crocodile King, and the Goat King were the 3 retainers of King Deshret. Let's take a look.
It's just Ashru.
So, all is well?
Typically speaking, at this point, the world disintegrates. Then we find ourselves back in the outside world. Besides, these are my memories. There's nothing to fear.
You're sure?
Of course. It's almost over.
Knowing too much is always a death sentence.
Speak for yourself.
How repulsive.
Timed that pretty well, didn't I? It's okay. I'm just glad no one was hurt. Paimon noticed you doing something too, Dainsleif. Were you helping get them out?
Of course. When I asked Nefer to conduct this investigation, I was not naive to the dangers involved. I had a duty to ensure your safety.
Good to know your sense of justice.
I take that to mean that you saw the truth. That comes as a great relief.
I certainly did. And thanks to your help, I also managed to trap Rerir inside the chess set.
Whoa, really? How'd you manage that?
Well, to be honest, I sensed that something was wrong long before we made it to the temple. By using this fragment to probe into Rerir's past, well, the monster formerly known as Rerir, it seems I alerted him. I was tracking him, then he caught on and started tracking me too. Can't say I'm surprised.
But how did he track you through your thoughts alone? That
Rerir was a secret agent who reported directly to the Vinster King. He is an expert at finding a trail and hunting down his pursuers.
No wonder.
He infiltrated the chess set, read my thoughts, and built a new virtual chess set inside of it. That's why we weren't able to leave at first.
Speaking of your chess set, it's quite a remarkable item. Would I be right in thinking you have some connection to King Deshret?
You overestimate me. I only have a connection with one of his underlings, the Ibis King. You all saw how this came to be. A long time ago, the Eab massacred my tribe, the Shimti, in our home village. A few years later, I enrolled in the academia, where some new The Unut and the Eab fought a bitter battle over the rights to a well, all for the sake of a non-existent 50 million mora. The Eab ultimately won that confrontation, but their victory came at the cost of almost every warrior in the tribe. The final blow to the Eab came at the victory feast, when an Unut assassin beheaded their chief right before my eyes. Having gotten my revenge, I returned to my hometown, where to my surprise, the nearby temple was still standing. As I stood there gazing at the temple, I noticed a cat just outside. This cat, as it turned out, this chess set is my gift from the Ibis King. The chessboard within is made to the same specifications as the one in the mausoleum of... With this chessboard in its container, I gained a certain ability to perceive hidden secrets. Now, you could conclude that the Ibis King simply wanted to give the people of this world the power to seek the truth. But I don't believe that's the full story. Every god plays favorites. Their hearts are as fickle as any human's, full of secrets, perversions, egotistical tendencies. But precious few gods are willing to admit this.
It is the same with all powerful forces, including fate itself. Their gaze falls preferentially upon a select few. As you rightly point out, this is an act.
If you're alluding to the Abyss, then yes, I agree. Gather the others. It's time to share everything I've learned. Thank you all for being here. As promised, I did some further investigating into the Raker of Solnari's back. The Raker of Solnari, real name Rerir, was once a Conrian subject who served the Vinster King. As promised, I did some further investigating into the Raker of Solnari's background. I am pleased to... The Raker of Solnari, real name Rerir, was once a Conrian subject who served the Vinster King. I will now share the important details of his story. Please save...
So that's why he's so obsessed with the moon.
A tragic tale, to be sure. But it does not excuse his many transgressions. No matter how much Rerir suffered in the past, the fact remains that he is what we know today as the Wild Hunt, wreaking havoc upon innocent lives in Nodcry. He becomes more dangerous with each passing day. If left unchecked, it is simply a matter of time before all of Teyvat suffers the consequences. This is a threat that the Knights of Favonius cannot ignore.
A question for Miss Columbina. Forgive me if this is presumptuous, but have you ever seen the spatial gateway that appeared in Rerir's memory?
Never. But I have heard stories of something called the Moon Gate. And this...
Miss Lama, any thoughts on this?
In the lore of the Frost Moon Scions, the moon is believed to hold many secrets. Some sources speak of ancient knowledge. The term Moon Gate is one I have heard before. But as is the case with all of our legends, there are no records of any first-hand witnesses.
Then back to Miss Columbina. As a moon goddess yourself, do you
Not at this stage, sorry. I do hold the power of the Frost Moon, and my strength is recovering well. I can sense that the gate would...
But there's more to the power of the Frost Moon than that?
Yes. A moon goddess has the right to open the Moon Gate, since it is a path to the moon. But as never mentioned, holding open a spatial gateway takes a huge amount of power, and right now, I need to conserve my energy to fight the Reir of Solnari. I'm afraid...
I agree. Better to save your strength. But if you'll humor me for a moment, I have a bold conjecture of my own regarding the world beyond the gateway. I highly suspect that neither Tholindis nor Rerir made it through unscathed. The evidence pointing to this is the fact that the Reir of Solnari exists in the form of countless fragments. With the abyssal power he wields, no ordinary foe can touch him, let alone tear him to shreds. And yet, the Wild Hunt proliferates wherever his scattered fragments lie, drawing hordes of monsters to many different locations across the...
So your theory is that Rerir was physically torn to shreds by some powerful force? Hence, why the Wild Hunt is a distributed phenomenon, rather than a unified one?
Makes sense to me. Explains why the Wild Hunt is so pervasive, and why he's been trying to piece himself back together. He was whole to be...
Without the power of the Abyss on his side, he almost certainly would have perished the moment he was torn apart. But the Abyss...
I could not agree more. The power of the Abyss is most surely a curse.
It is a compelling explanation, and one that accords with my present understanding of Abyss creatures. Whether the life form in question is primitive or advanced, if a curse has extended its lifespan unnaturally, it will continue to survive in spite of everything. This raises some interesting questions. I will run some experiments and see if there is any validity to my... That being said, regardless of whether my research bears fruit, I would like to thank Miss Nefer for conducting such a thorough investigation. Already, it has greatly enriched my...
My pleasure, Mr. Albedo. I too hope that the information I have shared today proves useful as we look to formulate the next stage of our plan.
Hey! What is it, Dainsliff? You look really upset!
It's just... when I think of the man I once knew as Rerir, I struggle to understand why things had to turn out like this.
The two of you used to be friends, didn't you? I don't know if these words will bring any comfort.
Mine too. We can never know all the hows and whys of the way things are. The moon and stars are full of untold secrets and lies. And the skies are host to many more mysteries than these alone. Yet...
Those are the first comforting words I've heard in a long time. Thank you, both.
Well, I think this is a good place to end today's meeting. I'm sure
That's very...
Of course.
Sounds good to me. Take some time to rest and digest. Hey, is this a bad time? Hope I didn't kill the conversation. No need. Anyway, Nefer went back to the curatorium to get some rest. But before she... Firstly, although she managed to trap the Raker of Solnari inside her chess set, there's no guarantee that the power of the Ibis King is any... It's only a matter of time before he finds a way to break out. We have to come up with a plan and take care of him before the...
Honestly, my mom figured that might be the case. So...
Well, I asked her that same question. She talked for a long time, but for the most part, it seemed like she was trying to convince me how precious her chess set is. What a long and storied history it has. It felt like some kind of sales pitch, you know? The kind where you end up handing over Mora against your will? Anyway, after all that, she finally answered the question. 2 days, at most.
2 days? Holy moly!
That remains to be seen. Which brings me to the second issue. Dainsleif is obviously conflicted about this whole thing. But given how little time we have, there's no way... You have some history with him, right? Do you think maybe you could talk to him for us? Great. I appreciate... All right, on to item 3. So, Albedo, Durin, and I put our heads together and came up with a plan. We figured we'd bounce the idea off you first. We'll explore it further once everyone's recovered.
Oh, I was dying to hear this.
All right, so... We felt a little uneasy about roping you into this. I mean, firstly, you're not locals, and secondly, none of us are your boss. You're well within your rights to refuse.
Roping us in? Why would you even say that? We know the stakes here. It's all of us against the Reher of Solnar.
I choose my words very intentionally, I'll have you know. I like to think there's an art to striking a down-to-earth tone even when the stakes are through the roof.
Sir Varka, I have a few thoughts about this plan.
I'm all ears.
I think we can be more flexible with how the roles are allocated. In my view, the most sensible lineup would be like this.
I see your point, yeah. But if that's how we're going to approach this, to be clear, I don't doubt your abilities. Far from it. I just want to make sure. Are you really willing to take all this on?
I want to do everything within my power. The Reher of Solnari is a truly fearsome opponent, and if I do my part, it'll greatly reduce the risk.
Well, that tracks with what I've heard. Jean's mentioned in her letters that you're so diligent it's almost abnormal. As in, most people weigh up the risks and rewards in situations like this. But you seem to just... Of course, everyone appreciates a fearless pioneer. But all that aside, I'm the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius.
Thank you, Sir Varka.
I should be the one thanking you. It means a lot to have you on board. I'll give some serious thought to your suggestions.
This is a thorough plan, but I do have one last question before we take action. How can we be sure that our enemy won't leave the designated area?
Great question. Albedo's been hard at work analyzing Rerir and the Wild Hunt's behavioral patterns. His conclusions are as follows. Firstly, from the earliest known confrontation until now, Rerir has never displayed any ability to manipulate the Secondly, he seems to have a particularly strong vendetta against our group. If we put him in a fight-or-flight situation, he'll choose to fight every time. Thirdly, finally, and most importantly, he is consumed. Turns out, we tick both of those boxes. We have a reincarnated moon in our ranks, and a spy who accessed his private memories without permission. He'll be baying for blood, not looking to escape.
As someone who's had their fair share of interactions with the Wild Hunt, those all...
Understood. Then I will defer to the verdict of the group.
Well, everyone, that's the plan in full detail.
Plan approved. Okay, any firepower you need, I got you.
The Frost Moon Scions are behind you as well.
And the rest of you? No objections? All right, then it's settled. This is the plan we're going with. Next up, an old...
Wait, we can still back out of this?
Everyone says things they regret, right? I don't want anyone feeling trapped because their mouth said yes before their brain had time to think things through.
A very people-first approach. I hear that's common practice in the Knights of Favonius.
Who'd you hear it from? D-Luke?
A very people-first approach. Shh. We don't use people's real names at work. This contact will be known only as Owl, please and thank you.
This plan can only work if everyone does their part. Flint's and I will absolutely support it.
We shall indeed. You'll be glad you accepted our help. Also, you are the last person I expected to see here, Miss Dory.
It's not often I get called Dory in a work context. My peers usually call me Lord Sangamape. So, the longer your name, the higher your net worth is. In that case, Mr. Flint's here must be worth a fortune. That's right, I know your full name. It's...
The walls are thin here. I'd appreciate you keeping that.
Okay, fine. I'm actually only here as a favor for someone else. Do you have any idea how much it would cost to hire me otherwise?
Oh, does this mean someone out there actually has the power?
It most certainly does not. We have a long-standing and mutually beneficial business partnership. She's actually the mom of a friend of yours. Said mom supplied me with a great little trinket, but now that lady's ruined everything. If I don't start building a little goodwill now, my whole business in Nodcry is gonna go to...
Okay. So what exactly is...
It's a lucky charm that a great mage made for me. We have a business relationship, and she was worried that something bad might happen to me. So, She wanted me to have something that I finally got it all fully charged up with Kuvaki, and then never went and used it all up at once. Never lost so big in my life.
You're right. It was all my fault. I didn't mean to drain all the...
You will? Well, in that...
I knew you'd say that. Well, it's yours if you want it. In fact, take it now, and I'll even throw in a free Raker of Solnari.
You're putting me in a difficult position here.
It's a very useful thing to have around, but I have a funny feeling it won't be around much.
Looks like bankruptcy.
Hey, don't be so pessimistic. See this through and you never know. You might find a new business opportunity on the other side.
Heed my words and get out while you still can.
Benny's adventure team, assemble! Or not.
You're not here looking for work, are you? Heed my words and get out while you still can.
No one's joined me on an adventure in ages. Come on, let's go! Benny's adventure team, assemble!
You're not here looking for work, are you? Heed my words and get out while you still can.
Dory, how are things going? Feeling ready?
Oh, I was born ready. We only have 2 days. You think, don't forget, when something's in high demand, the people with the goods on hand get to charge the highest price of all. Even higher than the sellers taking advance order. Ta-da! See? It's right here.
Ah, it's so pretty. Did you make it?
No, I have a supplier. We go way back.
Aha! No wonder you were talking about Lucky Charms at the meeting. You've been getting Kave to make them for you.
That's not the full story. It actually started a while back as a project between me and the Dendro Archon. Mage Alice once warned me that this world will stay safe forever. There may come a day when everyone faces a great crisis. I passed this on to the Dendro Archon, and she secretly brought together a research team made up of Sumeru's top scholars to invent a technology that could keep people safe. I won't go into the details because it's all very complicated. Anyway, point being, it was the Dendro Archon who asked Kave to build this little contraption. As one of the top Kashara War talents, took him long enough. He stressed over it for ages. Must have gone through at least a dozen designs before producing a final product. But that's Kave for you. Marak delivered it to me a couple of days ago, along with a letter from Kave. Could I ask why I'm sending this technology to you? then what's your proposed use case? Has it been approved by the relevant authority? So nosy. Ugh, my fault for sending him the research permit to begin with.
Surely Nahida must have told him you were involved in this project. He was probably just nervous because you're always so secretive about your business.
Could be, could be. Anyway, I just replied, let's hope there never has to be a use case, because it would involve grave danger.
Fair enough. But it sounds like he was just being cautious. He probably felt responsible as the...
Or maybe he was asking as a favor for his housemate. He's done that before. Not sure why, though. His housemate doesn't seem to really care that much about this kind. Either way, all's well that ends well. I'm just glad to finally have my hands on the product. I wouldn't... Huh? What does that look mean?
Paimon's just super surprised. This must be the first time we've ever...
Well, a long time ago, I made a promise to myself. I promised that I was gonna live every... There are always gonna be times in life when you have to give something back. That could mean paying back a debt. Alice has been a huge help to me over the years. She was the first investor I ever had. And more than that, no one knows what the future will bring. Whatever happens, I want to make sure the Dendro Archon and all of Sumeru is prepared to face whatever comes. Oh, that? I was just making sure Nefer and I are square. Don't be thinking it was some sort of benevolent act. I'm no saint, so don't treat me like... My priority is doing the business that I want to do. So long as my conscience lets me, but it usually does. That's the Lord's Song of a Babe business mop. All right. If you... I do say so, and that's the whole point. I'm a businesswoman. Don't go trying to figure out what kind of person I am. You'll exhaust yourself. Much... Oh, and could you two help me get this stuff where it needs to be? Thanks so...
Traveler, Paimon, it's good to see you.
Everything going smoothly over?
Sort of. As you're probably aware, Varga, Durin, and I captured some abyssal creatures from the Wild Hunt. Per the plan, we dissected and analyzed some samples of these creatures. The process went very smoothly. The findings, however...
What? You can actually dissect the Wild Hunt?
That depends on your definition of Wild Hunt and dissection.
Harmless, lifeless. These words are accurate descriptions.
The Wild Hunt is an interesting phenomenon. In and of itself, it doesn't seem to possess anything akin to a human personality. But taken as a collective, Master griped a lot about the wise Horoptatir, and seemed somewhat fascinated with the foul Certology. But she barely mentioned Rerir at all. I don't think that was because of his lower social standing, though. Anyway, it's a pity. I should like to hear her thoughts on the nature of the life form he has become today. It's a strange mix. The furious energy of an abyssal being channeled through a fractured physical existence. A consequence of being torn apart by an unknown power. Perhaps the only explanation for his survival in this state is that he sacrificed a degree of individuality in exchange for a continued existence. Oh, sorry. Once I get talking about interesting research, I have a tendency to go on indefinitely. Back to our research findings. Essentially, they confirm my hypothesis. Rerir's corpse is completely contaminated by the Abyss, and the effects are irreversible. You could think of this as Rerir in mutated form, but in my view, even that would be inaccurate. In reality, his whole being has been consumed by the Abyss, In other words, unfortunately, at present, we have no means of completely eradicating abyssal power.
Oh, that's terrible news! So, that's it? We can't defeat him? Not even if we get the power of the Three Moons?
Miss Columbina's situation is a difficult one. She can never achieve wholeness when the world does not accept her presence. It's as if her creator banished her to a place she can never be accepted. It means she spends most of her energy just on her own survival.
Given the circumstances, it's only natural to despair. But we must see this plan through to the end. Time to kick off the backup plan.
Oh, Paimon almost forgot! This is for you. Dory asked us to bring it.
Ah, how wonderful. Well, thank you for making the
I'm sorry I won't be there to protect you in person this time. Please be careful.
All right then.
Miss Lauma, is everyone here?
Yes. The fate of my flock is in your hands, Grandmaster Varka. Please keep them safe.
My lady.
Within the next 24 hours, we will face the biggest crisis the world. This is not a burden that we deserve to bear. But I believe that we reap what we sow in this life. So I intend to act. I must do what I think is right. For me, that means fighting for the future of Nodcry. This gentleman is the Grand Master of the Knights of Avonius, Varka, Knight of Boreas. In my absence...
Hey, everyone. Guess I should introduce myself. Well, to start with, biggest strengths are honesty and hard-workingness. Anyway, it is, I don't intend to let Lauma down.
Something with which to commemorate this occasion.
Something on your mind?
Miss Columbina, was it? I believe...
That's right. Names are funny things. Have you always been called Dainsleif?
Yes. I take it your own name has a more complicated history.
I have a different relationship with names than other people. To be honest, I'm not even sure that Columbina is my name. At least, not in the same way that Dainsleif is yours. But it's what everyone calls me, and I go along with it. A lot of my life has been that way. I get so used to things that I forget to question why they are so. I never used to think much about where names come from, or what they mean to people. Maybe something's wrong with me.
You're different from other people. I sensed it the first time we met.
You're more perceptive than most. I'm sure your long life and rich range of experience explains that. Do you ever find yourself missing Conria, Mr. Dainsleff?
Difficult to answer. I have dreamed of the past many, many times. Sometimes I'm fighting tooth and nail. Other times I'm lying on the ground, defeated. I don't recall any happy moments from that time. It has been too long.
Is that because hatred survives longer than love and affection?
That would not be for me to say. I make no excuses for the grudges I bear. But whatever the reason, I remember little that was beautiful or sentimental. Thank you for your help with the Rerir situation. Without your efforts, I never could have learned the hidden truth of his story.
You're welcome. I know he's your friend.
He betrayed me. And I never really understood what he was going through in life. Some friendship, that is.
Okay. So, do you plan to fight him with us? You see, you're torn. Now you know what really happened. You see the things he's done in a new light.
I need some time.
Of course. I completely understand. Anyone else in your position would feel conflicted too. Actually, I went through something similar myself recently. Something happened that changed my perspective on a situation. A situation I took for granted at the time, but...
You mean the Harbingers who still support you, even though you've left the Fatui?
Yes. I always thought they were only helping me because Harbingers are forced to work together. But then I abandoned them. A warrant was even put out for my arrest. And even now, they still support me. Which means I was wrong about them all along.
Clearly, they view you as a friend.
I feel a little guilty now. I regret not seeing her help for what it was, and not treasuring it. I see the guilt that you're feeling now, because I feel it too. Hopefully, talking about it will do us both some good. Have you noticed that the Traveler and Paimon are over there? I think they've been listening.
Huh. Shall we say hello?
Sure. Hello.
Ah! They caught us!
I apologize for making you worry. No doubt you wish to know where I stand on the plan to take down the Reir of Solnari. I'm afraid I need a little time.
You will? Oh, thank you so much!
They needn't be. This was something that I was going to have to face up to.
That doesn't matter to them. They're grateful to you regardless. You can't control their gratitude, so just accept it. And then, have a think about whether you're willing to join us.
It's nearly showtime! Let's go rendezvous with the others. You know the place.
The pleasure is all mine.
I've been waiting for you for ages.
You're earlier than I expected.
Hey, Blintz! Been waiting.
Not too long. I came a little early so I'd have some time to think.
Are you nervous about the battle?
Quite the opposite. I'm reminiscing on my past battle. When I was awakened by the Radniki, I had not touched a weapon in many years. I felt like the battlefield was not, but after waging war against the Wild Hunt for so long, I came to realize something. My restless flame indicates that somewhere inside of me, there is a deep yearning to root out the evil in this world.
Oh, that doesn't sound like such a bad thing.
Well, in the past, when I was a Fae whose primary concern was hibernation, it was hardly ideal, but certainly serves me well here in the present. And I am delighted to be able to join...
Looks like I'm not the first to arrive.
Ah, Miss Lauma.
Did you sleep okay last night?
I struggled to settle down at first, because of the nerves. But don't worry. Please, I'm just doing my part.
Never! Over here!
Aino asked me to relay a message. She said Anefa will be on high alert and keep a close watch over all secondary districts where defense is required, providing support. Meanwhile, Aino herself will provide range support to us directly, using her latest invention.
Excellent. My...
the chest set's looking a little
It won't hold him much longer. We should be...
No sense sitting around waiting. Let's make the first move while we...
I agree. Paimon, find a safe hiding place.
Got it! Be careful, traveler!
I will.
Everyone, take your positions as soon. Every ounce of strength we have in our bones, let us bring to this fight.
Ready?
Let's go.
I've seen all your futile ploys before. You have become the authors of your own demise.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
You are merely a moment of sport before I tear down the moon.
Stay on your toes.
Yep, you too.
Let me help you guys. Big!
Go!
Observe. Are you quite finished?
Can't hide the truth. No more lies.
Leave this place. By the frost in your bones.
Be silent. Close your eyes.
Moonlight. Pathetic, hunt them down.
Observe. Be silent. To dust.
Seek within. It all adds up.
Boris, protect us.
Hunt them down.
Close your eyes. Observe. Steady now.
Futile.
Night falls.
The moonlight.
Be silent. Crazy. Are you quite finished?
Branches are soft. With one heart.
Bombs away!
Observe.
It began with the moon, and so shall it end.
Steady now.
No more lies.
Moonlight betrays you. Move. Moonlight betrays you. Pathetic.
By the frost moon of old,
Go! Hunt
Wipe
them down!
poor lost lamb.
It's all futile.
Beware the creatures of the night.
Move.
Observe. Close your eyes. Are you quite finished?
Hunt them down.
It all adds up.
Moonlight betrays you.
Can't hide the truth. With one heart,
Be silent. Steady now.
Futile.
Are you quite finished?
To dust. Pathetic.
Are you quite finished? Close your eyes.
Hunt them down.
The long, sweet beckons.
Moonlight betrays you.
Be silent.
Move. Hunt them down. Moonlight betrays you. Move.
Of heroics is over.
Moonlight betrays you.
Go first.
Get out of my sight!
No, we've been
Death is within
separated.
my grasp.
you okay?
Never. Where are the others?
Stuck outside the berry. I guess he really doesn't like us.
I told you before, knowing too much is always a death sentence.
Be careful what you wish for.
Grandma, can you hear me?
Silence.
The voices are
Destroyed.
but at least
Free
stay there. I need to focus. Stick to the plan. Remember my most important task. Just keep stalling him. If I can stall him for long enough, the moment will come.
Can't hide the truth. No more lies. The mystery unravels. It all adds up. The deception ends here. No more lies.
more lies. Go! Bombs away! Can't hide the truth. The deception ends here. Wipe out! It all adds up. How unfortunate. No more lies. The mystery unravels. It all adds up. Can't hide the truth. Absurd. I've got this. The shield's broken. I can't keep this up. Don't push your luck.
Death is within my grasp.
No more lies. Water jet! Yeah! It all adds up. Seek within. Can't hide the truth. It all adds up. The deception ends here. Can't hide the truth. Absurd. It all adds up. Seek within. No more lies. Wipe out! It all adds up. The deception ends here. Let's see what they're made of. Can't hide the truth. Shameless. How unfortunate. There's no other way.
The only way to defeat Rarer is to borrow his own power. That means Columbina will have to disappear while you two bear the brunt of his attacks. You have to hold on. Find a way to keep him focused on killing the two of you.
Nefer, your eyes are bleeding.
Soon you will be powerless powerless to resist. And then I will reduce you to...
But that dust will plague your memories. Come on. Keep holding on.
Any other tricks up your sleeve? Let's see them. As entertaining as they are, you've backed yourself into a corner.
You don't fool me. I see your fear clear as day. I have to stoke his rage. Make him unleash everything. You fear what you could never defeat. You fear the thought of never being able to save your beloved. You cannot win the fight against fate, Rerir.
Is that what you think? Well, now it's your turn to feel afraid.
You fear the sound of your own name?
Is it us you hate, or is it what you've become?
Let's see what becomes of you. What's happening? That power. I've seen it before.
His power is on another level. We'll need to use an alchemical array to convert his power into a usable form. Then quickly channel it into Columbina, rendering her powerful enough to compete with him.
I'll join you. I can help. If I release enough abyssal energy into a confined space, it'll create a potential difference, allowing us to extract a huge amount of elemental energy. Next, I'll synchronize with everyone's minds using pyro, then give you temporary access to their abilities and fields of view. But it won't last long. Can you see?
Well enough.
So, we have a student of Gold Rhine-Daughter in our midst.
How about that?
You use my own power against me?
Just like how you stole Kuvaki. Look familiar?
Don't you realize? You don't have the power to hold that gate open.
I don't, but someone else does.
Goodbye, Rerir.
We won.
Nefer, how are your eyes?
They're fine. Apart from the blindness.
It's not too late.
Let me handle it. Miss Nefer, it's not like you to lose your composure. That was the most reckless thing I—
Reckless how? The situation was critical. Our lives were at stake. We had to do—
Even so. Okay. I guess you're right. Under the circumstances, it was a wise decision. You traded your eyes for— in business terms, I suppose that's a huge return on—
I'd be hard-pressed to—
Still, I don't like this. People suffer when they make sacrifices they shouldn't have to make. Whether that means— I had hoped you could win without sacrificing so much as a single hair on your head.
Thank you.
All done. Don't try and open your eyes just yet. We'll see how you're doing in a couple of days. I'll send full details through Yehoda. For now, just get your— My dear friends, we have fought bravely and achieved—
The moon will remember this day. Thank you both. There's something I want to let you know.
What is it?
When Durin connected everyone's minds so I could access their powers, and since Nefer's eyes were injured, my eyes are hurting now too.
Hold on.
I only feel the pain. There's no actual damage.
You're right. There's no damage. But I must say, I'm surprised to hear the Kuthar share something like this with me. In the past—
Things are a little different now from how they were. I'm learning to share how I truly feel with my friends.
Friends? You have no idea how glad I am to hear that.
How are you feeling? Any aches and pains? Did you sleep well?
I'm doing all right.
Phew! Well, that's good. Paimon's been sitting on the edge of the bed worrying about you for ages. You slept a whole day and night. Poor Paimon had to eat all by her lonesome.
Glad to hear you didn't starve. How was the food?
Well, it wasn't the same without you there to share it. Honestly, Paimon just can't relax when you're not your usual self.
Well, I'm back to normal.
Oh yeah, and Albedo swung by earlier. He said to tell you to head to the tavern when you woke up. Varker and the others are organized. He also dropped off some medical supplies, but you seem fit as a fit. If you're feeling up to it, let's head over now. Traveler and Paimon! Perfect timing! We were literally just saying how there's no way we're holding this victory feast.
How are you feeling today?
Much better. Thanks. Don't worry about me.
Relieved to hear it. If that changes, just let me know. Happy to check you over at any time.
Yep, we're here for you. Anything you need, just let us know.
Oh wait, where's Nefer?
How are her eyes doing?
Nefer's right over there. I'm sure she'd love to catch up with you.
We're here! Oh, Traveler and Paimon! Perfect timing!
How are you feeling today?
Much better.
Relieved to hear.
Yep.
Oh wait, where's Nefer?
How are her eyes? Nefer's right over. I'm sure she'd love.
We're here! Oh, Traveler and Paimon! Perfect time!
How are you feeling today?
Much better.
Relieved to hear it.
Yep, we're.
Oh wait, where's Nefer?
How are her eyes? Nefer's right over. I'm sure she'd love to catch.
Hello, you. Recovered from... Come on, what do you mean? Of course I'm gonna ask. I care about my friend's well-being. Get yourself a drink. You've more than earned it. In fact, today, your drinks are on me. Lord Sangam... Wow, really? Oh, yay! Hey, keep your voice down, or everyone else is You... Have you heard anything I've been saying recently? Doing business in Nodcry has been an... Okay, that's more like it. Don't you forget. Lord Sangama Bay doesn't just go around buying drinks for...
Hey there. Looking for a drink or two? Or perhaps a room for the night?
I thought of 1,000 ways.
The honorary knight stuns them speechless?
Well said. The other knights tell me that Mondstadt was the first stop on your journey. All of us are truly delighted to... I'd like to thank you for supporting the Knights of Favonius. And also, for helping... Nonsense! Of course I'm gonna mention it. This is more than just business. It's a relationship.
I see you've...
You bet. Snooze his way to a full recovery.
Glad to hear it. A healthy body is paramount. Nothing else in life is possible without it. So take it slow. You can't afford an injury.
I'm on too. You really saved the day when you swooped.
I came to accept that although Rerir was my friend in the past, here and now, he was an enemy that must be defeated. Though I will never fully understand what happened between us, I could not let this crisis deepen any further. We fought a very necessary battle, and you played your part admirably.
Yeah. And if you ever need to talk, just remember.
I'll do that.
Our drink recommendations?
Hey there. Looking for a drink or two? Or perhaps a room for the night?
If you want to negotiate prices.
Never!
Traveler, Paimon, are you recovering well? Turns out that moon chanter has some real talent after all. My eyes were mostly recovered after just a couple days.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful. Lauma says not to strain your eyes while they're...
Yes, thank you. I'm well aware.
Yehoda, could I borrow you for a moment?
Oh, sure. Did you hear that? I gotta go help Lauma for a second. You guys? You bet. Sure thing.
The Raker of Solnari. Kind of a snake, don't you think? No, definitely a snake. A poisonous one anyone who seeks revenge out of hatred for other people has become a snake. That's something my dad used to say. Perhaps. I'm sure it sounds like a very wise and open-hearted perspective to your ears. But me? I think hatred is a perfectly justifiable. What else is left when everything you depended on in life gets stripped away? Something's gotta fuel that drive to keep on living. If you're worried about me, you can nip that in the bud. I'm not someone who gets stuck in the past. It's just... I suddenly feel like I was wrong to call my father a liar. He was just a fool. That's why the academia turned their back. Oh, Father. How much better things could have been if you were a skilled liar. Look at the Ibis King. Thoth is a fiendishly cunning liar. And yet, strangely, he feels more like a father to me than my real dad ever was. He's never brought it up, but I'd bet he feels the same way. Why else would he give me the power to perceive the truth, while at the same time training me in the art of deception? Well, King Deshret banished him to Aru, which is essentially a prison, and posed 3 questions to him. He promised that he'd have his freedom if he could find the answers. His response was to take on a physical form and approach me, hoping that I could become his envoy and search for one of the answers on his behalf. Did he really think I'd fall for that? He's stuck there. He can't make me return what he gave to me. So that's enough for you to decide he's knight. He's a prisoner, and he was scared. So he decided to perform some good deeds he lives in fear because he's a deceiver. How is Rerir any different? You can't work as a spy your whole life, and it's preposterous. Yet I can't say I don't understand it. Liars live in the darkness of their own making, but it's still human nature to want to go on living. They say that a liar's soul is the most worthless thing in the world. What do you think? Oh, really? Well, it takes a very kind person to find compassion even for liars. If you ask me, the soul of a liar really is worth nothing. Because all they care about is themselves. For example, when something good falls into my lap, I don't go sharing the news around. Stops other people trying to steal it from me. So be it. They have sharp ears. I can't keep anything from them. Oh, is that what it looks like? Well, you all know my past now, and I can't simply eliminate everyone who knows too much. So I get when you find yourself in a situation you can't control, the safest play is to keep calm and start monitoring everyone involved like a hawk. If you understand what's at stake, please ensure my secret is safe with you. I trust you respect my wish. Very good.
Oh, wait. Now that the panic's over and we've all calmed down, Paimon suddenly, after all that build-up, our mystery ally never showed up.
So, that close colleague who stayed behind with you? What's he been up to recently?
Don't know, don't care. I get more normal human interaction from hanging out with Bosco too than him. Although, now you mention it, he hasn't bothered me in a while. I wonder if...
If he's disappeared without a trace, it's the biggest gift he ever gave to the world. But I somehow doubt that's what's going on. He won't lie low forever, so we'd better stay on guard. Sangama Bay. I must thank you.
Why come and ask me when you clearly
I mostly...
That's more like it. A little gratitude goes a long way with Lord Sangama Bay. Play your
The chance to work with such a kind and charitable and...
Huh? Charitable?
Let's see. The first plups...
Stop! What do you think you're doing?
It's nothing to hide from. They're all perfectly legitimate investments.
How...
You're a curious case, Lord Sangama Bay. But I'm afraid no matter how hard you try to keep things under wraps... You did it for Sumeru, didn't you?
It was empty land that was gonna go to waste otherwise. I figured if I built something that... Disasters are capricious things. They strike without any warning. My elder sister used to dream of finding a sanctuary. Somewhere with plenty of food. It was something I looked into. But after discussing things with the Dendroar, the tech people handled the tech, and Moneybags provided the Mora.
It's a pity that so few people know the truth about you. Everyone says that you view everything in terms of Mora and all you care.
So? What's the problem with that? Everyone wants to be rich. It's human.
But surely you have dreams of your own beyond just...
You don't get it, do you? My dream is to invest in other people's... Just thinking about it makes...
Thank you.
For the...
And the pendant.
Oh, that. I was just returning a favor.
Seems like we've both been away from home.
Yeah. So long that...
That would be your mother, father...
Yeah, though it's been years since my... It's not like I want to forget them, obviously, but... Memory can be even more... My sister can't help me now. Slowly, but...
Not everything will fade. When loved ones pass...
Yeah, that's true. If you ask me, that's the...
Well, that, plus, I'm sure that life is much better now than it was back then.
Oh, absolutely. I have tons of Mora, a big, beautiful house. You've got a lot going for you, too. Boss of the Curatorium of Secrets? I'm sure there's...
I appreciate the vote.
Hey there. Looking for a drink or two? Or perhaps a room for the night?
How have you been holding up? Any adverse reactions? If you start to take a turn for the worse...
You don't need to worry about me, Grandmaster.
What?
You played an indispensable role in the battle for Nodcry. Weak sometimes, When people praise you, it's because you deserve it. The best thing is to accept it
Let's do a quick demonstration. Albedo, that was an incredible feat of alchemy. The pressure was on, but you worked...
Thank you. I can't take all the credit, though.
See? Did you catch that? A masterclass?
Okay, yeah. I did work pretty hard to help prepare for the battle. No point...
Hey, you guys!
Hey, look who's bounced back. Looking good, traveler.
Seems like you've recovered. You won't need to take any more medication.
Can I get you a drink?
Huh? You know how to order at a bar now?
Handling a drinks order is ridiculously simple compared to alchemy. Don't worry, I'll...
Paimon believes it. Here, clearly a fast look. To be totally honest, though, Paimon didn't quite follow all the details.
Don't worry, that's completely understandable. Unless you're a student of alchemy, it's...
To put it in the simplest terms, we saw how our enemy stole the power of Kuvaki. And that gave us the idea when facing an enemy you have no hope of defeating, it's best not to engage them in battle. So, instead of looking for a way to overpower him, we decided to help Columbina get strong enough to at least stand up to him in a fight. For this to work, we had to analyze his modes of attack, confirm who his main target was, and make sure that he wouldn't go beyond the... For added security, we prepared a total of 4 arrays. But to mitigate the impact of the battle, we identified one location. The alchemical array absorbed his abyssal power. Then Durin processed it to render it usable by Columbina. That power enabled her to do what would otherwise have been nigh on imp...
What surprised me was that Dainsleif actually agreed to join us. Given his history with Rerir, he had every right to sit this one out. But we're extremely grateful for the decision he made.
It must have been a painful choice to make. But I'm sure...
Absolutely. He was torn between 2 paths, but in the end, he made his choice and stuck to it resolutely. He doesn't strike me as the... Anyway, however you cut it, everyone gave a stellar performance.
That's the only reason you're here.
Yes. I've thought a lot about it. And I've realized that you, me, and Arlecchino should be friends. I think this is very important. So I felt I had to come and tell you.
Well, this is a new one. I'm so moved. I can't even hold my teacup. If that's all, you can leave now.
Do you not want to be friends with me? Or is it that you prefer being co-workers?
What is this, Columbina? Are you deliberately testing my patience threshold? Right now, my politeness module is active. But if you say another word, I swear I'll shut it down.
If your politeness module was active, wouldn't you say the word please at some point?
Polonia, please see Lady Columbina to the door.
Will you still invite me to your next tea party?
What?
Yes, I think you will. Bye-bye, dear Sandrone.
Last time, the Wild Hunt escorted you out. Would you rather I handled it myself this time?
We just wanted to, see how you were doing now that it's all over.
Why? Out of concern for my safety? I hope you didn't seriously think that the Rayhair of Solnari would be able to lay so much as a finger upon...
Mostly because you kind of helped us out, so we just wanted to check you were okay. Looks like all your robots are fixed, huh?
Oh, don't you worry about that. Tea time is already a write-off.
the visitor before you managed to kill my appetite. If you're in the mood for tea, go ahead and help yourself. Otherwise, it's going to waste. My coasters are still missing in action, though. Use this notebook instead.
Whoa! Pretty hefty notebook.
You can ignore those. They're just dumb scribblings. I doodle and write in my free time. Sometimes I remember the distant dreamlike past. Sometimes I imagine the far-flung future. And other times, I grit my teeth and note down all the crazy nonsense going on in the present. Some people do the crosswords in the newspaper. This is my equivalent of that. Trying to predict the future is like daydreaming, and writing about the present just makes me furious. The past is my favorite. If nothing else, it's already set in stone, so I don't have to rack my brains trying to figure it all out. Although, having said that, the only vaguely interesting memory in my past is probably that guy they call Lord Artificer. Who else? Pretty much all the mecha and Fontaine are his personal handiwork.
Wait, are you saying you know him? Like, personally?
I mean, I guess we were friendly enough. Yep. In fact, I'm probably the only normal person left who knew him at all. We used to chat occasionally back when he was still around. Before he passed away, he asked me to destroy all his manuscripts. I honored his request, but I did read through everything first before destroying them. I mean, I couldn't let the genius of Lord Artificer Alain Guillotin disappear like that. Would have been such a waste.
So, that's where the formulas in your notebook are from?
I just told you. Those are my equivalent of crossword puzzles. They're just dumb formulas that I saw. Alain's work was like epic poetry. The formulas in my notebook are just silly little riddles in comparison. Not that there's anything bad about them. I mean, at least, solving those riddles isn't going to hurt anyone. Except me, 'cause I lose a few brain cells in the process. Anyway, while we're on the topic, I might as well tell you about what happened to him and his friends. Alain Guillotin had two close buddies, Renee and Jacob. They spent their childhood years together in the Narzissenkreuz Institute. They were all quite competitive, so there was some rivalry between them, but it was a friendly rivalry. But beneath the friendship and the rivalry ran something deeper, a sense of nostalgia for the past. Unfortunately, childhood would end, the prophecy would come true, the apocalypse would arrive, and a mad dream that would normally only capture the minds of lunatics begin to take root in their hearts. A dream of saving the world. And if Renee and Alain had been people of lesser wits, that dream would probably have ended up as something for them to joke about in their older years. But alas, they were some of the sharpest minds around. They nurtured that dream with the full power of their intellect, and it grew into something that ate away at their souls. The first of them to fall under its spell was Renee. Against Alain's wishes, he persisted in experimenting on a mutual friend of theirs to try and save their life. Alain did not approve and parted ways with Renee. It's complicated. Alain wanted to believe that Renee only did what he did for the sake of their friendship. But when he told me about what happened, I could tell he still had some suspicions about Renee's motives. Perhaps the seed that would grow into a nightmare had already sprouted in Renee's mind. Even then. The next time they met, Renee's soul had been completely engulfed by the dream of salvation. His futile attempt to change the tide of fate only resulted in a wave that swallowed up the world, even before the apocalypse came. And although that wave died down eventually, I hear that it just recently came back with a vengeance. As I understand, Renee wanted to live out his dream of salvation once more. But I'm told that the attempted resurgence finally died out for good. At long last, Renee awoke from his deluded dream. Though of course by then it was far too late. What do you think of Renee? Do you admire his transcendent genius? His view that any price was worth paying to achieve the lofty goal of saving the world? Or do you despise him? Dismiss him as an evil madman who wrought havoc on the lives of everyone around him as he pursued his delusional dream? Same difference, really. Just a matter of perspective. What a cop-out. But I suspect you'd have a more incisive and insightful answer if we dug into it further. I don't like fanatics who give up their whole lives for their ideology. Nor do I like fools who let their delusions take control. Maybe I could understand if Renee had just been an ordinary person. But he had a sage-like intellect. And still managed to get himself lost in the labyrinth of his own desires. Anyway, that's enough about Renee. Now, moving on to Alain Guillotin, the Lord Artificer. He managed to put a stop to the first storm whipped up by Renee. But after that, Alain lost his friends and family. To his credit, I suppose, the loss of his family and friends was purely a tragic accident. It's not like Alain sacrificed them for his cause or anything. After that, the only thing supporting his work was the same dream that had dragged his closest friend down to the abyss. But although the desire to save Fontaine drove him to found the Fontaine Research Institute, Alain continued to reject any form of transcendental knowledge or power. He was suspicious and fearful of it, having seen the way it had affected his closest friend. I think that formulas and machines derived solely from human intellect were the only thing that gave him a sense of spiritual comfort. Yet Alain's intellect was simply too great. It barely left him space to breathe in his lifetime. Once he realized that the end of his life was approaching, he finally accepted the truth. The Nazissenkreuz Institute needed someone, and a human being, to see its story through to the end. He quit working on his formulas, trading them in for the fairy tales that had played such a formative role in his childhood, but which he barely touched in his adult life. He told me that the director of the Nazissenkreuz Institute used to read those fairy tales to the children as bedtime stories. Apparently, they worked wonders at sending kids off to sleep. I think that all he wanted at that time in his life was to be able to sleep deeply without being plagued by depression. By that point, nothing else really mattered. At the very end, he laid down to rest in the ruins of the former Nazissenkreuz Institute orphanage, while the Fontaine Research Institute he had founded continued tirelessly with its work. Many years after that, tensions over competing dreams would once again cause a rift, this time between members of the Fontaine Research Institute. But the actions of those fools had nothing at all to do with Alain. And that is the story of two people from the Nazissenkreuz Institute who both wanted to save the world. One went all in on his fantasy of salvation without ever looking back, and ended up calmly sinking to the bottom of the deepest sea. The other sought desperately to burn bright in his life, even though he wasn't sure where he was going. I do sometimes wonder, why is it that people like them have such grand hopes of saving the world? Even the grandest tree starts as a tiny seed. So perhaps, for each of them, their mission to save the world they were young children with friends and family who mattered to them, desires to explore the meaning of life, ambitions to have a successful career. They didn't want to see all of that taken away in one fell swoop. Or maybe they just wanted to find something to anchor themselves within the chaos, to stop them getting quietly swept away by the storms of life. But instead, the search for their own salvation took them down the rocky road laid out by fate. Do you think the desire to save oneself is enough of a justification to try and save the world? The way you said that sounded just like Alain. I asked him the same question. He gave the exact same answer, no elaboration. Just a quick short answer before getting right back to his work. He was, well, all right, tea time's over. I owe Arlecchino a favor for telling me these stories. I'll have to bring a whole sack of gifts the next time I visit the House of the Hearth. I'm gonna go tinker with Polonia now. You guys can do whatever you want, as long as it doesn't involve interrupting me. Polonia, exit hibernation mode. Begin diagnostics.
something on your mind again? Let's work through it together. 2 heads are better than 1.
I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine.
This is order. Solidify.
If you ever have it. Ad Astra. Should I choose?